Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks today with another live stream. Have a look at some of the news that has caught my attention today in the Spanish press, and we'll also have a look at some of the comments that were left on yesterday's video. Now, there's already plenty of activity in the chat section. We'll go through it and see what's happening. We've got Roland coming in. Hello, Roland. Pat coming in from Galicia. Roland from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mark coming in from muggy Seville today. Erica coming in from Terrassa. Raining in the morning. Good to see a bit of rain finally there, Erica. Babs coming in from Wales. Andrew coming in from a dry southeast London. Maura coming in from County Donegal. Warm there still. Somebody told me that Ireland looking very brown at the moment. Not sure whether that has changed or not. Maura, let us know. What else we got going on? Angela coming in from Cork, and Don coming in from the UK on his way to Spain soon, and wanting a green background and a yellow polo shirt. See what I can do. I have ordered a green background and a couple of other colours as well, so we'll see. The black is temporary, as we know, but today I've managed to fix the lighting a little bit, but I'm still working on it. Somebody asked me if I needed help with lighting, and the answer is yes, but I haven't been able to find a way to contact the person who offered to help with the lighting. So if you're watching today, please let me know. Now, let's have a look at the first piece of news that we have today, and it's some good news for people living in Spain, and it is that the government has reduced, or it will reduce, VAT on gas. And as we can see here, households and businesses will save 200 million euros from lower VAT on gas in the last quarter of 2022. Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez announced on Thursday that he will reduce VAT on gas from 21% to 5% during the last 3 months of the year, which will mean a reduction in revenue for the public coffers and a saving for taxpayers of between 190 and 200 million euros, according to sources from the Ministry of Finance to El Mundo. The measure will initially be approved for the last quarter of the year, but the President has left the door open to extend it to 2023 if the price of gas continues to soar, as he admitted in an interview on Cadena Ser. If it were in force for a whole year, the loss of revenue would amount to between 760 and 800 million euros. So the government weighing up whether whether it is willing to have its revenue cut because of that VAT, or whether or not it needs to pass that saving on to consumers who are doing it tough with high gas prices at the moment. And electricity was reduced down to 5% earlier in the year, and of course now gas being reduced to 5% from 21%. So a big saving there. And apparently this is an initiative that the opposition party, the Partido Popular, put forward to the government, and the government has decided to take them up on their offer, apparently, or whether the government had it planned, I have no idea. But I'm sure the opposition will take credit for it. Now we're up to 29 likes. I'll put the little like icon on the screen there. So hit that like button just below the video if you have not done so already. And we'll see if we can increase the likes for the people watching the video. 116 people watching at the moment. So we'll see if we can increase the likes to around 50 by the time we come back from the next piece of news. Now, back into the chat section. Chris coming in from Alora. Cooling Valle del Sol. Good to see. It's been hot there all summer. What else we got going on? Philip coming in. Nice to be able to join you again from my garden, lovely Donegal, in the northwest of Ireland. Heading to Spain for 3 weeks next week and can't wait. Hope you have a good time down here in Spain, Philip. Alan coming in from San Diego. Stop bemoaning Spain. It's forecast to be 46 degrees Celsius or 115 Fahrenheit there in the next few days. So very, very hot in San Diego, according to Alan. Ross coming in from Albany, New York. Regular viewer Ross. Hello, Ross. Hope you are well. Another regular viewer, Jose Antonio here. Hola a todos. Hola, Jose Antonio. And Kelvin coming in from Washington State in the United States of America. And Fernando coming in from Aracena as well, locally here in Spain. And Dave from Madrid. St. Pete to Madrid, Dave. saying that he likes the idea of viewers sending you photos from around Spain for the thumbnails. Maybe we could have a competition to see who could ID the location first. Good idea, Dave. I'll write that down on my notepad that I have here. The idea was not only for the thumbnails, Dave, but also to put on the green screen behind me. If the green screen never arrives, or a blue screen I could probably do as well, to put viewers' pictures on the screen. But there's a comment coming up about that in a minute, which we'll have a look at. All right, the second piece of news, again related to energy here in Spain. Let's have a look. Spain's firewood and fireplace purchases soar in the middle of August. I'm selling 3 times more than last year, says one wood seller. In mid-August, Spaniards have begun to prepare for an uncertain winter. The exorbitant rise in gas and electricity prices, together with the possible savings measures being prepared by the government for the coming months, have led to an unusual increase in demand for wood, fireplaces, pellets, and other alternatives for heating homes. In large stores such as Leroy Merlin, the sale of heating products has increased by 30% compared to the figures recorded the previous year, but the fervour to stock up is also being felt in other establishments. People are buying wood in advance for fear of running out, says the same wood seller as before. So firewood and fireplace purchases on the way up. And as we can see there, wood, pellets and other alternatives to heat your home. People are preparing, and people are worried that the government is going to cut gas supplies, although they have said that they're not going to do it, or at least they're not including it in their immediate plans. It is in the government contingency plan to ration gas. So I imagine that's why people are stocking up, especially in some of the cooler parts of the country. For example, here in Madrid, without heating, difficult to get by. And basically the whole of central Spain and northern Spain very cold in the winter months. Here, if we get another snowstorm like we had a few years ago with gas cuts, wowee, that would be a difficult time for a lot of people. But in the Canaries, as we know, no need for heating there, I don't think. No need for heating in some parts of Andalusia. Malaga, maybe there are some parts of there that you don't need much more than an electric heater to get by in those winter months. And of course, during the day, you don't need to have the heating on at all, a lot of the times in some of those places down there in Andalusia. So we'll see what happens, but firewood selling very, very quickly around Spain at the moment as people are stocking up, preparing for a cold winter without their regular energy supplies. So we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a tough winter, as I said, I think. All right, what else we got going on here? We've got Philip. Am I an aficionado of fine beer? You can tell me why it's so hard to get 500ml cans of beer in Spain. Not hard to get 500ml cans of beer, Philip. You can get, I'll put that one on the screen so people can see there. You can get 500ml cans at any supermarket. You can get litre bottles. You can get 500ml cans, half a litre cans. You can get 330ml bottles of beer, what they call here a tercio. You can get cans of beer, 330 as well. You've got smaller bottles of beer, which are called botellín. They call them in Madrid a botellín. Got a dog barking in the background, and my dog's going crazy now, so hopefully she'll be under control. But yeah, no problems getting your hands on 500ml cans, half a litre cans in supermarkets, Philip. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. All right, what else we got going on? Libby coming in from Gijón, City Fan coming in from Barcelona, and Mike coming in from New York City, and Tim asking me if I'm well. I am well today, Tim. Thank you very much. And a City Fan, mega cool, the background. There we go. Finally, a positive comment related to the background after a fair bit of negativity, I must say. People prefer the blue wall that I had there for a long time with the pictures on it. So, as I said, I'm trying to mix it up, but I'm not around to that stage yet. So we'll have to put up with the black background for the time being. Anyway, what else we got going on here? 71 likes. I'll put the like button back on the screen. So if you haven't hit that like button, please do so. Just below, 151 people watching. So we should be able to get up to around 100, I would say. And hopefully by the time we come back from the next piece of news, that will be the case. So hit that like button if you have not done so already. Now, the next piece of news, Spain's cost of living crisis dents Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's popularity. according to the Financial Times this is. Spanish lawmakers' approval last week of measures to save energy by, among other things, restricting the temperature of air conditioning was a welcome win for the Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez, who will need all the coolness he can muster in coming months. With disgruntled Spaniards facing a ferocious rise in the cost of living, Sánchez's socialist government relies on a fractious coalition partner to get any business done. Meanwhile, the Conservative opposition has surged to a poll lead of almost 9 points ahead of next year's general election. The danger was made clear when the opposition centre-right People's Party won a resounding victory in a regional vote in Andalusia 2 months ago, securing the absolute majority in what had been a long-time socialist stronghold. That is true. A big election victory for the Partido Popular, or the People's Party, as the Financial Times is calling them here, down there in Andalusia. And Prime Minister Sánchez's popularity dented, of course, because it's been a difficult 3 or 4 years for governments, not only here in Spain, but around the world. Energy crisis, COVID pandemic, other problems that have been going on. Difficult. And as we know here in Spain, with the fractious, I think that's what they called it there, the fractious coalition partner Podemos. Not easy to get things done, and there always seems to be some type of infighting going on in the government, people putting their own messages out, and difficult to get everybody on the same page. But as we know, nobody will resign ever from a government here in Spain. They'll sit out those 4 years, and they'll get their pensions when they finish their time in government, and they'll all be happy and at having spent 4 years in government. But as we saw there, the Partido Popular 9 points out ahead in those opinion polls at the moment, largely due to the change of leader. This Núñez Feijóo, the Galician leader, rising in popularity, taking over from the former leader, Mr. Casado, I think was his name, and how quickly people have forgotten about him. Yes, as always with former political leaders, but no doubt he'll pop up again in the near future, probably in the European Parliament, or he'll pop up in some type of think tank giving his opinion on things. So I'm sure that we will see Mr. Casado again in the future in a different type of role. Grant coming in from Sierra, Asturias. Frank coming in from don't know where, Frank, probably the United States maybe, let us know. Mick coming in from Mareira, down there in Alicante, I believe. D likes the background today. Edward, 74, and rainy in Oklahoma. Tobias coming in from Cádiz still, I think. Tobias, yeah, I was able to open the link. I saw a few photos and a video of horses running along the beach, I think. Didn't get back to you because I didn't have time. I just had a quick look before I went off to sleep yesterday. Mugga coming in from El Campello. So finally there, Mugga, down there in El Campello, Valencian community, out of Ireland and down there. Is it a permanent move now, Mugga, or are you heading back to Ireland in the near future? Let us know. Libby coming in from Albany, New York, also. In a previous life, sorry. She's now in Spain, in Gijón. Sorry, Libby. Carol coming in from Canada, and Joe Smith, Olis Jew, coming in as well. Hello, Joe. Hope all is well. Now, let's have a look at the final piece of news. We're up to 97 likes, almost at the 100 mark. Almost at the 100 mark. So I'll just put the little like icon back on the screen and see if we can get it over 100 today. Let's see. Maybe around 150. Might be a little bit too ambitious. We'll see. But hopefully we'll get it over the 100 mark by the time the icon disappears from the screen. No. Next piece of news. Spain launches free rail travel passes to fight inflation. After struggling a bit with the ticket machine at Madrid's grand 19th century Atocha railway station, 26-year-old Jennifer Bernard Quintana and her sister became the happy owners of free travel passes valid from Thursday. With inflation near record highs and above 10% year on year, Spain's socialist-led government hopes to alleviate living expenses and encourage more people to take public transport by providing them with free monthly passes for all local and medium-range intercity routes. Long-haul trips and single tickets are excluded. I think it's a great initiative, says Jennifer, who works in social media. I'd love this to be a permanent thing, as it would help to make things in general less expensive and would have more mobility. This is a good way for the government to invest the money we pay in taxes, she says. Hear, hear, Jennifer. Hear, hear. A good way for the government to spend the money that we pay in taxes by giving us free transport back. I think it's a fair swap. I would agree with you there, Jennifer. Will it continue beyond beyond December, January, I think? Don't know. There is no government plan yet for it to continue longer than that 3-month period. I think the government is hoping for a miracle in 2023. So if the current situation continues, then probably they will extend it to have that to alleviate the stress on people's wallets and purses and all of those things, which, as we know, for the average commuter here in Spain, can add up. If you've got a family of 4 and you've got 4 monthly travel passes, it's a fair bit of money flying out every month. So fortunately for a lot of people, those will be free. But as we saw there, for single tickets and long-haul trips, not included. Mainly for commuters, people like Jennifer that take public transport regularly coming in and out of Madrid every day or other cities around Spain, people that are commuting from the outskirts into the centre, which a lot of people do. A lot of people here where I live travel the 20 kilometres in on the metro every day, direct line, so they head in there every day. And of course, those travel passes will be free. And as Jennifer also said there, a good idea, a good initiative, and hoping that it will continue on beyond the next 3 months. So we'll see what happens with that, with that free travel here in Spain. So a positive initiative, I think. All right, good. Now back into the chat section here. Mugger says he needs to learn to survive without air conditioning. Should be okay in winter, Mugger, but when summer comes around, you probably have to look into getting some type of air conditioning. Joe from Madrid, a bit cooler this week. Absolutely, it is a bit cooler. This morning it was cool. I'll tell you, when I took the dog out for her early morning work, it was quite cool and quite pleasant, I must say, but the afternoons are still hot. What else we got going? Jose Antonio saying we'll have to pay those 200 million on taxes another way. Perhaps we'll pay 400 million. A little bit pessimistic, Jose Antonio there, a bit skeptical. What else we got going on? Megastorms in Barcelona, according to City Fan, and Estepona Carol is back there. Tobias talking directly to Mugger, and Steve Dunn coming in from Ireland. So plenty of activity in the chat section. Good to see. 206 people watching, 127 likes. We'll see if we can get over the 150 likes today. Hopefully that will be possible. So again, the little like button up on the screen. Hit the like button if you have not done so already. Now we'll go to the first comment that was left on yesterday's video. I'm just going to reach for some water. And it's this one here from Maui. 1 minute, my creaky seat. Hello, Stu, do you work in a city that language... I'll just try and read this one. Hello, Stu, do you work in a city that language you school or school? Are you self-employed? So a little bit difficult to understand what Maui's trying to say there. I'm currently in Alcoy and I'm finding a job very difficult to get 12 euros an hour. A lot of things, teachers are Spanish graduates. Yeah, can't really understand the comment too well here, Maui, but I get the general gist that you're working in Alcoy and you're finding it difficult to get a salary which is over 12 euros per hour. Yes. Just have a drink there. So the problem is, Maui, that there's a lot of competition, especially in some of those places where there is a big foreign resident community, and 12 euros an hour does seem a little bit low. I have seen salaries like that here in Madrid, but a long time ago. And there has also been a cut in recent times when it comes to salaries for English language teaching. Companies are looking for cheaper prices. People are having to accept cheaper prices, especially people that are starting off in the industry. 12, although, as I said, does sound a little bit low. Here in Madrid, you would be able to make a little bit more, but of course the cost of living is more expensive as well. And the competition comes in, as you said, from local people that are getting into the industry as well, people that obviously have a first certificate or an advanced certificate or a proficiency certificate, can't find another job, so they get into English teaching. And sometimes they're willing to work for lower salaries because they live at home. Maybe they don't have to pay rent, and they can undercut the prices, which happens here in Madrid also. So it's just a question of looking around, maybe going out on your own, not depending on academies. Put a few signs up, see if you can find your own students, find a price that people are willing to pay, and away you go. But again, I think that's what I understood from your comment there, Maui. But again, if you can, just make the comment a little bit easier to understand next time, please. All right, good. Now, what else we got going on here in the chat section? Hot in California, says Lenny. What else we got going on here? Kelvin saying 15 in Washington State. Mad Planet Mark in Derby, UK. Back to Fuerteventura on Wednesday. Hope all goes well with that move back there. Gloria coming in from Los Angeles, California. Going to be hot there. I think Alan said hot in San Diego, so maybe hot in the California, the whole state, not sure. Well, Steve coming in from Manilva. No shortage of ice here. Yeah, I think the ice shortage is over. I saw plenty of ice in the local supermarket today, so I think there is ice in supply. But a good idea to invest in an ice making machine if you have the opportunity. Which a lot of people are doing, and I saw that they're on special recently. For around €100, you can get your own ice-making machine. Not depend on the supermarket ice, that's always an option. What else we got going on? Mug is saying that he's already consumed 2 litres of water. Had a lovely helado, lovely ice cream after his walk. What else we got going on here? John coming in, dark in Madrid already. I'm turning off the lights. I wish I were turning off the lights, John. I've got these 2 lights blaring in my face here, so but the rest of the lights are turned out in this study at the moment, and the new black background there, which is I'm going for a bit of a different look here. Jose Antonio saying wood is expensive too. Everything's expensive. Wood, gas, electricity, everything is expensive. And 1878 ask, hello Stu from Vigo. Sunny spells, not too warm. Good to see. A nice part of the world, Vigo. A very pleasant city, I must say. Pleasant city. All right, good. Now, what else we got going on here? Next comment. Let's have a look. Let's see if this one's easy to understand. Frilly Info. Absolutely agree. September is the best month. I escaped the heat and went home to Scandinavia for the summer, but next week I'll be back in Spain to enjoy the wonderful September climate. There we go. Perfectly written, easy to understand. Frilly Info. Agreeing that September is the best month. And it's what a lot of people do from the Scandinavian countries. They head back to those countries for the summer months because it's a bit cooler up there in Sweden, Norway, Denmark and the like. Not sure which country Frilly Info is from, but one of those 3 most likely. And then, of course, head back to Spain for the winter months where they get the best of both worlds, mild summers and mild winters. So the perfect combination for people from the north of Europe, and it's what a lot of people do, get out of Spain in August. But I said yesterday that if you do come to Spain in August and you come to a city like Madrid and you can put up with the heat, it's a fantastic time to be in Madrid because you can go to restaurants without crowds, you can go to the museums without crowds, public transport is not crowded, people are not in the city, and I imagine that's the same for other cities as well that are in the interior, on the middle part of Spain. Even in Andalusia, probably if you visit Seville in August, there's not as many locals around. But again, hot. So if you can put up with the heat, it is a good time, August, to visit some of the interior parts of the country without the mass tourism and without the locals. And as we saw there, people from the north of Europe enjoying the best of both worlds. Mild summers up there and cool, mild winters down here as well. So fantastic. Now we're up to 143 likes. We're nearly at the 150 level. So one more time I'll put this on the screen. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so just below. It keeps me motivated while I sit here going through the news and with these lights blaring in my face. What else we got going on here? Let's have a look if we can find something else here. James coming in from Arizona. United States. Steve coming in from Valencia, Canadian in Valencia. Try a green background next time, says Steve. It's on the cards, Steve. It is a plan that I have to get a green background. I'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. What else we got going on here? Last year, bicycles were outselling stocks. That is true, Don. You couldn't buy a bicycle last year in Spain. Very difficult to get your hands on a bike. They were selling like hotcakes, as they say. What else we got going on? I need a key light behind me, in Alan's humble opinion. If I wanted to separate the background, I could, Alan, but I haven't got that going on at the moment. The key light in the background, the 3-point lighting. I think that's what you're getting to there. Chris used to have a wood burner, but he ditched it after he realised how expensive it was to run. So there we go. First-hand experience about wood burners. Too expensive, says Chris. Steppenwolf saying, sound good, quality, good info. Thanks from Dorset in the UK. And Dirk coming in from Villajoyosa in Alicante. So thanks everybody for the participation in the chat section. Hope you are enjoying the video. Now we'll have a look at another comment here. Let's see if I can find one here from Adrian. The private health insurance in Spain is so cheap. I live in Melbourne, Australia. My single private health insurance costs €280 a month. Even with that, I sometimes have to pay extra for services. Yeah, so a difference in the price that you pay for private healthcare in Australia and private healthcare here in Spain. I said yesterday that I was going to look into private healthcare, and I did today. I went to the bank, signed a few documents. It depends on whether the health company will accept me. You have to fill out a form talking about previous problems that you have had, whether you are an alcoholic, whether you are a drug user, all of those things. So I ticked most of the boxes negatively, but we'll see what happens when it comes back, whether or not they accept my conditions. And it worked out to around €51.25 a month to have a desless healthcare. And there's another comment here which we'll have a look from Ken, and it says, when I lived in Spain, I banked with La Caixa. It's my bank as well. I signed up for private healthcare with a Deslas, my case too. When I fell at home and hospitalised for 4 weeks, the care, treatment, professionalism of this company could not have been better. It feels like wasted money until you need their assistance. And for me, every cent I paid was a worthwhile experience. So there we go, first-hand knowledge and a great review from Ken talking about Caixa Bank and their health company, Deslas. And I have the public system here in Spain. I've had the public health system for the whole time. Everybody who lives in Spain, who is a resident and working, has the public health system. So I've never had a problem. The doctors have been good. The specialists have been good that I've seen. If I need to see a dermatologist, never had a problem. Until COVID came, and then the system basically collapsed, and the regular appointments that I had with a dermatologist, they just got wiped off the list. And to try to get them reconnected again, that's a bit of a problem. It's not easy. You have to go to the hospital, go through all of the hoops to get that done again. And also to see the local GP here, I tried to get an appointment 2 days ago, and the first available appointment with my GP is for the 13th of September. So the idea of having a GP, I think, is to be able to get in fairly quickly to be able to see her in case you've got some type of thing that you need to get seen to quickly. That's not the case. 14 days to see a GP in my local area here. So if I do go onto a Deslas, if they do accept my conditions and things like that, then I'm going to change. It's as simple as that, because apparently you get to see a GP a lot quicker with private healthcare. And for 51 or 52 euros a month, it doesn't seem all that expensive in my opinion. So like I said, if I get the okay from a Deslas, which I expect I will, I'll change, and I'll let everybody know my experiences in the private healthcare system and comparing it to the public system, which, as I said, I've been in for the last 22 or 23 years without any problems up until now. And of course, having to see a GP in 14 days really defeats the purpose, in my opinion. But anyway, all right, what else we got going on here in the chat section? Alanda Remy, hello Remy, buenas tardes. What else we got going on here? Steve, energy crisis, COVID, inflation, doubtful many governments are looking good these days. Absolutely true, Steve. In fact, probably Pedro Sanchez will be hoping that he loses just so he can take a break, I would say. Looks a bit stressed at the moment, old Pedro Sanchez. What else we got going on here? Gino coming in from Toronto. Hello, Gino. Alan coming in from Beleth, Malaga. Regular viewers as well. Good to see you guys back in the chat section today. Sam coming in from a muggy and overcast Seville. And what else? A couple of difficult years politically. Laughing as an American, says Tobias. And we've got Frank's got back to me here saying that he's coming in from Crawley, West Sussex in the UK. We also have a Crawley in Perth. Frank, there's a suburb called Crawley, no doubt named after the Sussex version. And Alan, hola Stu, que tal? Alan, you can see I've got your logo up on the black background. Looking quite good, I must say. The red colour's there, so thanks for that. And Stan coming in from Poland. Thank you very much, Stan, for your participation in the chat section. Good to see you there. Now we're up to 30 minutes. We're up to 173 likes. Wow. So I'll put it back on the screen again. We might even get 200. 248 people watching. We'll see if we can get above the 200 mark. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so just below there. And we'll see if we can get over the 200 mark. We've still got some more information to go through, a few more comments, so we'll have a look at those now. Next one, Kathleen. Hi, Stu. Think that it would be a good idea to have people's holiday photos on your wall. Yes, that's what I said the other day, Kathleen, and glad that you agree. The lady who was asking about owning a dog when she moves to Spain, I don't think the Valencian region allows dogs on buses or on most of the beaches. Maybe another idea could be to join in walking the homeless dogs in the many dog shelters all over Spain. They ask people to foster them as well. Yeah, good points made there from Kathleen. Now, I think the person that asked about dogs the other day is in the chat section, so take the information from Kathleen's comment here. Firstly, I'll address the situation about the photos. That's the idea that I have, people's holiday snaps. If you're in a nice part of Spain, you like to take photos, and the photos are of decent quality. Obviously, you don't have to have perfect photos. You don't need to have, leading lines and all of those things, perfect, and the 2/3 or whatever rule is called. You don't have to have those things, but as long as they're nice snaps taken at beaches or some part of Spain, I could get a green screen behind me and pop those pictures up. So when I get the green screen, I'll let people know, and if you want to send me your photos, please do so. You might have some nice pictures of Spain, some nice pics of the coastal areas, of the mountains, and we can do that. Maybe a nice plate of food that you took. So we could look into doing that. And the second part of your comment here, Kathleen, about dogs, absolutely. I read the other day that a huge amount of dogs abandoned every year in Spain. I think it was in over the 200,000, maybe it was dogs and cats. Can't remember, but a lot of dogs and cats abandoned every year in Spain. So that could be an idea, that you just go to a local shelter and take the dogs for a walk, maybe foster a dog, bring it into your home for a short period of time until it gets a permanent adoption. That could be an option. Or if the other person already has a dog, then Valencia might not be the city, according to Kathleen, if you can't take it on public transport. Not sure if the metro is included there or only buses. I don't think you can take dogs on buses here in Madrid unless they're guide dogs or for that purpose, care dogs. But Spain slowly becoming more dog friendly, I believe. There are some department stores you can now take your dog to. You can take your dog to the Decathlon sports store. You can take your dog to the Leroy Merlin DIY store here in Madrid. You can take your dog now, I believe, into El Corte Inglés, as long as it's a well-behaved dog. So it is changing, and of course there are plenty of outdoor seating areas in Spain. If you want to have a sit down, have lunch, have a drink, you can always sit down outside with your dog normally, unless there is a specific sign up saying that is not the case. But in most bars and restaurants, at least here where I live, you can have your dog under the table or under your chair while you're having something to eat or drink. All right, good. Thanks for the comment there, Kathleen. Now, what else we got going on here? Ignace. Isn't All Black licensed by the Kiwis? Yeah, probably it is licensed by the Kiwis, the All Black colour. Maybe I need to get the green and gold. I didn't think of that here, promoting the New Zealand colours in the background. I didn't think of that, but thanks for pointing it out, Ignace. What else we got going on here? Brian saying that strange in the UK, warning of an apocalypse this winter. Short of workers in every occupation. Is it the same in Spain? I'm not really getting the apocalypse warnings. I'm getting warnings that there are going to be some problems, but not necessarily the apocalypse. And there are shortages of workers in some sectors. Yeah, I think there was something like, can't remember the exact figures, but a lot of jobs going begging because they can't get the qualified people for those jobs. So same problems worldwide, Brian, I think. What else we got going on here? Darren asking the question, does Spain have any nuclear power stations? The answer to that question is quite simple, Darren. Yes, Spain does have nuclear power stations, but the idea is to phase nuclear power out. I've spoken about this on a few occasions, I think. By 2035, I think the current government wants to have all nuclear power stations phased out and dismantled, and no more nuclear power for Spain. Some people disagree. Some people think that nuclear is the solution to the problems. The French think that, for example, but Spain is an anti-nuclear country in that regard. And the current government, as I said, the plan is to phase all remaining. I think there's 7 nuclear reactors in Spain, I think, or nuclear power plants in Spain. I think that is 5 or 7. Can't remember exactly. Don't quote me on that, but at least 5 still working around the country. And the big problem is the waste from the nuclear energy. No town in Spain wants to have the waste buried in their backyard. And I think that's one of the main issues when it comes to nuclear power, and also the issues that nuclear power stations have had back in the day have put people off for life nuclear energy in some countries. People don't even want to talk about nuclear energy, and that's the case here in Spain. Okay, what else we got going on here in the chat section? Philip saying, hello from Sussex, going back to Malaga next week. Can't wait, can taste the Victoria beer already. Yeah, Victoria is now an alternative to Cruzcampo. What else we got going on? Remy saying 3 nuclear power stations in Spain. I think there's more, Remy. I think there's more than 3. You can look it up on the internet. I think there's more than that. Dave saying from Madrid that the monthly metro pass for seniors will be $1.50. That's a monthly pass, Dave. So you'll be able to pick that one up there for seniors, $1.50. Cheap as chips, as we say. So inexpensive, it's ridiculous. What else we got going on? Mug is saying that he plans to spend 12 months here initially, renting, and if all goes well, buy. Okay, that's a good idea. I always recommend renting until you get a feel for the place, Mugger. You don't want to fork out money for a property that might fluctuate in value. Good idea to rent until you get a feeling for it. What else we got going on here? Different gear TV. No lights tonight. Are you saving power or going for a different look? The second, different look. I have plenty of lights in the room. I've got 2 lights blaring. You can see the reflection on my glasses there. You can see the lights. What else we got going on? Ian from Poole in Dorset. So good to see plenty of activity in the chat section. We're up to 37 minutes, so we'll have a look at one more comment. 200 likes. We've cracked the like button. I don't have my special my special sound effects, so I can't do anything there. But we've hit the 200 like mark, so thank you everybody for that. Now we'll have a look at one final comment here. Let me see. Let me just check that I haven't missed one. All right, good. This one here from Brendan. Hi, Stuart. A question unrelated to the channel, but could you tell me where you got your sun lenses that went with your normal glasses, please? They're brilliant and would love some. Thanks. Yeah, I think I did this in yesterday's video that I just popped on my my lenses onto the top of the glasses that I wear here. And no problems to tell you about that, Brendan. So what happened was that I normally whenever I changed glasses, because the prescription, I had to get sunglasses and I had to get a normal pair of glasses. Normally you can get deals, so you pay for the normal glasses and then you pay a little bit extra for a pair of sunglasses. Normally not the full price, they're sort of included in some type of package. But this year, last year when I changed my glasses, I think it was in October or November, they told me about this system here that I'd never seen before, which was just buying these little sunglass lenses here. I don't know if you can see those, and they just clip on to my normal glasses, and it's very, very convenient because they gave me 3 of these. So I've got 1 in the car and 2 in this little package here, and the brand is this one here. So I don't know if you're familiar with glasses brands, but that's the brand of the glasses. So for basically the same price, I got these glasses here plus the 3 lenses that just pop on top, the sunglasses, and they're 3 different styles. One is like this reflection, this like a silver reflection. Another pair are a little bit they're more see-through, and the other pair as well are a little bit darker. So 3 clip-on lenses, which I'm very happy about, and ever since I've been using it, it's a whole lot easier than carrying 2 pairs of glasses around, and those lenses just pop them in your top pocket if you want, or as I said, keep them in the car handy. 1 in the car, just pop them on, so you're not constantly looking for a second pair of glasses, which I was doing for a long time. And sometimes you misplace your sunglasses, don't know where they are, but now always a pair in the car, one of these ones here. So I've always got sunglasses handy, and as we saw, just clip onto these ones and away I go. So not a sponsored ad, but just answering the question that was posed there by Brendan. So there we go. Now, what else we got going on here before we finish? We're up to 208 likes, 249 people watching. Good to see. What else we got going on? Let's see if I can find one more chat to have a look at here. Let's see if I can find something here. The price of beer. Libby talking about the black background. What else we got going on? Tim asking a question. American moving to Barcelona in 4 weeks. I know you're in Madrid, but is it possible to find apartments to rent without an agency? Paying a year's worth of agency fees at move is insane. Yeah, you can find places without an agency, Tim. Just go to some of the real estate portals and you should be able to find places that say that they are not agencies. Give them a ring. I have a couple of friends that rent houses in Madrid. They're full at the moment, so obviously I can't tell you about those ones, but they rent directly to people. They don't go through an agency, because you're right, the agency fees are normally a month's rent in advance just to the agency, so you've got to fork out a fair bit of cash on top of the deposit that you have to hand over to the owner of the house. So you can find apartments to rent without an agency. Back in the day, you'd just walk around Madrid and you'd see this sign in the window saying for rent, se alquila, and there would be a number a lot of the time, so you just call the number. And another thing, Tim, is that if you go into a lot of buildings in Madrid, they have a what they call a portero, a doorman, somebody who works downstairs in the building cleaning and things like that, and they normally know if there are apartments for rent, and they can put you in contact directly with the landlord. So depending on which area you are planning to move to, go into some of the buildings, just ask, hola, ¿hay pisos para de alquiler en este edificio? Sí, hay dos. And then away you go. So that's always a good idea as well. You can find places like that. But just in some of the real estate portals, Tim, you should be able to find them as well. And the ones that say we're not an agency, you can find some, although there are a lot of agencies. All right, good. Now, Val is saying Australia has reduced the 5 days isolation if you test positive to COVID. Yeah, have seen that, Val. I have seen that is the case. I don't know whether it's all states or whether it's just some states, but I have seen that Victoria is talking about that. I think Western Australia is talking about that as well. So 5 days isolation if you catch COVID now in Australia, which some people are even calling for that to disappear. So we'll see what happens. All right, what else we got going on? Let's see. Okay, not much else happening. So I'm up to 43 minutes. I'm going to start to cut the live stream short. Thank you very much, everybody, for your participation today in the chat section. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with the black backdrop. Thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for, as I said, just in general for watching the live stream. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Goodbye.